So there are definitely a lot of gatekeepers in the fine art world. I think that, what really defines the success of an artist in the NFT space is really their community.
As we speak, new platforms are coming up, new curators are being born, auction houses start to look to it, fairs start to look to it. So it's very much an art form that's in its early stages.
Hi everyone, welcome to yet another exciting episode of NEWFORUM. NEWFORUM is a community podcast inviting purpose-driven creators, visionaries, developers, and investors to spark accessible conversations on the topics of crypto, the metaverse, NFT, and everything Web3. The founders of the MetaArt Club, Frank and Levina, join me on this episode of NEWFORUM. Frank and Levina will share more about themselves shortly, and I'll tell you a bit about the MetaArt Club. So the MetaArt Club is the first dedicated fine art platform linking curated, emerging, and established international digital artists to global blue-chip art collectors and native crypto community. TMAC's overarching goal is to continually identify and promote emerging artists in the digital NFT art market, focusing on value creation for stakeholders, connecting emerging digital artists with significant NFT collectors, cultivating a digital art ecosystem with a long-term outlook, fostering community, exclusivity, and loyalty through a dedicated membership, Metaverse Museum, and DAO. Thank you, Levina and Frank, for joining me today. I'm super honored.
Thanks for having us.
Amazing. I'm super curious to learn a bit about you both, a little bit about your backgrounds and what inspired MetaArt Club.
Lavina, ladies first.
Okay, ladies first. Thank you. I started in the art world 14 years ago, and I was working at Christie's as the business development director for Asia. So really getting to know the fine art industry from a secondary point of view. And after Christie's, I joined as a consultant to Jay Jopling, who has the very famous White Cube Gallery, and working directly with artists in the contemporary world. And really, he was a superstar gallerist that created the superstar artists like Damien Hirst, Tracy Emin. And after that, I kind of started my own consultancy as art partners, and also working for the Royal Academy of Arts as a development consultant for Asia. And having all this fine art background of art industry experience, really was a moment for me when I watched the Beeple's auction on Christie's.com along with 22 million other people, and really, not knowing what an NFT is or who Beeple's was. And as you remember, he sold his artwork for $69 million US. So that really, kind of blew my mind and woke me up. And I, just deep dived into the space, and it's interesting because now we're a year and a half in, right? Into the emergence of the art NFT, and last year January was the real emergence. So it's not been long, but we've certainly learned a lot, and it's been exciting to see all the changes and all the different artists in this space.
Yeah, so after the great introduction from Levina about myself, so yes, so I'm Frank, and originally I always worked in the fashion industry, so very much in the creational and production side of fashion. And during having my own company, I was living in Indonesia, and I was an enthusiastic art collector, especially of Indonesian art. 5 years ago, I moved to Hong Kong. Then, a few years, after my arrival here, of course, we were all stuck home because of the COVID. And then actually I witnessed the emergence of the NFTs and the digital art. I was quite, mesmerized by it, and at the same time, because we were homestruck, it was a good way to spend a lot of time on that and to follow and to learn about it. So, and it was not only learning. I started also to approach artists and to purchase art NFTs as well, building up a collection. I was happy after 6-7 months in doing so to meet Levina, and both with my background and Levina background, we thought digital art is going to have a very clear presence in the art world, and it was a perfect moment for us to put the hands together and to start the foundation of the MetaArt Club.
Amazing. A lot happened during COVID and post-COVID, it changed the world so much, but a lot of innovation also came out of it. And I'm curious to know a bit more about MetaArt Club and also why are digital art so important?
Yeah, the MetaArt Club is really, a club where, we are bridging the gap between the digital artists and the art collectors, and nurturing emerging as well as senior artists into this NFT space. And, what we've done is our first Genesis drop. We had 35 international artists from, many, many different countries. It's like the UN of digital artists, and we created a collection of 9,888 art NFTs, and it was a fantastic way to introduce these artists to this space and also to introduce collectors that we know to these new artists in this space as well.
We had one of your artists, or curated the artist on NEWFORUM, from Nigeria.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really awesome. He's working on a great project.
That's correct. And always was one, from Lagos, Nigeria. He was one of the 35 artists. I know him from really the early days, and I'm a lucky owner of some of his beautiful work as well. And it's fantastic to see how he has been successful in launching his collection and seeing his very strategic entry and successes in the market.
I would like to know, do you guys have like a target audience, like a specific people you're targeting? I mean, I know you kind of said mostly focused on the emerging market, also established artists, but is that like really the focus, or you're like open to all? And I'm also curious to know how you would define the difference between crypto and NFT art. Maybe we can take the first part of the question, the target, and then maybe the difference between NFT and crypto art.
It's quite a global launch because we have artists from the US, from Europe, and from Asia, from Africa and the Middle East. I think that this space is quite conducive towards, really having an international market, as you were. And so our talk, we had, different marketing teams, all over the world when we launched. And I think that we're looking for a global audience.
We're looking for a global audience, and at the same time, digital art collecting through NFTs is new, right? Before it's not that digital art is new in a way that has been here for 20-30 years, but now because of the blockchain, the authenticity is guaranteed, and suddenly it gives a whole new dimension to this art form. Obviously, when the launch was there, one of our concerns from the beginning onwards has been, how can we find the art collectors and how can we reach out? And at the same time, realizing that for potential digital art collectors, there's a road to go. You need to open your MetaMask, you need to buy crypto in order to buy NFTs. So and I think that's, that's the journey that Levina and myself are on, is to really also start building up that community. And that brings me actually to the next point that you brought up. What's the difference between the crypto and the NFT art kind of collectors? Obviously, in the beginning, when the NFTs were launched, the really great success came in when the collectibles came in. And I'm talking here about the Bored Apes, the mutant apes, the CryptoPunks, and there's been so many collectibles afterwards that has been really very fast adopted by the traditional, let's say, crypto collector, who saw that as a value asset and who en masse actually dived into those collectibles, and which also led to quite amazing increases in prices. You know, that's one part of the equation that actually got the most world attention. But of course, separate from that, you have all these amazing artists around the world that create art and the digital art. And I'm talking here, you know, art that is created digitally on iPads with Procreate or augmented reality. There's all kind of different technical opportunities that comes along. And the collection of the digital art, obviously, that's done more by collectors that see the value in that. And that's where, as the MetaArt Club, we are very much focused in order to build that up.
Yeah, I guess like a follow-on question would be, who actually defines what art is? You know, and like, who decides what art is? And is there even a difference between the way Web3 natives would define it versus, you know, the conventional traditional perspective? And why does this matter? Who defines what art is?
Yeah, it's interesting because in the fine art world, you know, the arbitrators of good taste are, for example, the curators of museums, you know, also collectors themselves, you know, very much also looking at traditional methods of determining an artist's career would be what art school they've been to. So there are definitely a lot of gatekeepers in the fine art world. I think that, you know, what really defines the success of an artist in the NFT space is really their community. And I think that that is a real difference is, you know, you can see exactly who's collecting that artist, you can see whose wallets they're inside, and there's a community that rallies, you know, around the artist if they like their work. So I think that, you know, in this space, which is really, really exceptional, very, very interesting, is, you know, there's less gatekeepers. And if you build the audience and they love your work, then you know what, you are a successful artist and your art is loved, right? And I think that's amazing that anybody and everybody has that ability to say what they like and collect what they like, and you know that they don't necessarily have to jump through, the artists don't have to jump through these hurdles as they would have to in the fine art world. So that's really breaking down barriers and making it possible for artists from all around the world to create a marketplace for themselves and create an art collectors community. And you can see a lot of our artists have really strong communities around them, and they all, you know, love their art. And you know, I think that that's really one thing which is really interesting and new in the Web3 space, and what's considered a successful artist or art in this space.
You know, art is always in the eyes of the beholder, right? So, you know, in the end, you know, and especially as this is quite a new form and a new, let's say, a new market and a new opportunity to, because of the blockchain link, you know, in a way, it's quite new. And I think that as we speak, new platforms are coming up, new curators are being born, you know, auction houses start to look to it, fairs start to look to it. So it's very much an art form that's in its early stages.
Yes, I'm also curious to know, like, how do we bridge physical to the digital art world? I obviously know that it's this concept of everything getting digitized. And when I think about NFT, that's digital art, right? And it does allow, you know, everyone around the world, the globe, to access it. But then I also feel like sometimes there's this struggle, like, are we going all digital? Is digital enhancing the physical? And so what is this, like, how does this whole phygital concept play into all of this?
I think that everybody is on screens now. So actually it is much more, I mean, it's much easier to show people NFT artwork. You can show them on the phone, you know, whereas it's harder if you have a painting on the wall, you have to actually come to my house and, you know, see it, right? So I think in that way, and I think that, you know, like Frank always says, the future is all about screens, and everybody has screens. There's, you know, shopping malls of hundreds of screens. We all carry devices with screens on them. So I think that, you know, the digital artwork and the truly digital native creation for this for the digital screen, it really shows through. The art, has different aspects to like a physical artwork, like a painting or a sculpture. So I think there's different types of art, and I think that as a collector, collectors collect paintings, collectors collect sculptures, collectors now collect a lot of digital art. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a physical painting for the artwork to be appreciated. I think that digital artwork is best displayed on a screen, and having a painting, in the art form, like a painting is best as a painting with paint, right? So it's just it's different things, right? Right, Frank? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, no, absolutely, Levina. And I'm myself, I'm a very strong believer about the connection of the digital world with the physical world. That is really where the future, in my eyes, is going to. The screens are absolutely important. And also, how can art and how can this be integrated in our normal lives? And I believe that's the future. Levina and the team, and as TMAC, we have managed also to start collaboration with the corporate world as well, where I am, where we see really a much stronger a connection of the digital art creation with the physical world, with memberships, with companies. So that's really, in our eyes, the future.
Yeah, you mentioned that you started sort of, I'd say maybe engaging with the corporate world. I'm curious, what are some of the challenges you face with that? Like, is it trying to define or explain what Web3 is? Like, what are some of their struggles?
I think that we have been working with big, corporates on art NFT programs, for example, like Vogue Singapore, as well as Swire Properties in Asia, which is a very, very big real estate development company. And there, it has been actually rather, how do you say it? Interesting to work with them, because what we're doing is we're using digital NFT artists to create NFTs that reflect the brand image and DNA of these blue chip brands. So working with corporates actually has been very interesting, and we were able to really express the Vogue everybody issue in March with our artists, and also celebrating the 50th anniversary of Swire with 5,000 NFTs. It's been a very great collaborative creative process to work with our artists and to create NFTs to reflect the brand identity of those corporate clients, actually. Because whenever you have fantastic artists, it's really easy to be able to work with these brands, because we're able to really capture the essence of what they're trying to communicate. So it's been a great, rewarding experience for us.
Also, what's it like, I'd say, like building community for MetaArt Club? And would you say your community is pretty much the artists that whose work you're curating, or how does it look like?
So as the art community and the digital art community is being created, this is still very much work in progress. Levina mentioned our collaboration with Swire, and that actually has been quite an amazing way, because Swire is giving to all their corporate relationship 5,000 NFTs as a gift because of their anniversary, and the recipient actually received a barcode of a QR code that includes a wallet with the artwork inside. So in a way, here we are straight away with that project. Swire is enlarging the collectors market with thousands of potential new collectors, and this is a fantastic example. Also further, we are really excited to be one of the cohort project of the new coin community, which is specifically targeting towards the fashion and the art, communities worldwide. So that's why Levina and myself were really very interested when we were actually approach for that, because we believe that this will very much allow us to be much more communicative and also successful in reaching out to the global art collecting audience.
Yeah, I love that. I love that we're partnering with you and collaborating together. And I guess on that note, I'm curious to know, what does the future look like for the MetaArt Club and in regards to the Metaverse?
We're committed to growing our community of artists that we work with, and we've already done about 9 to 10 different art NFT projects. So there's a whole variety. Like currently in Hong Kong, we have a art NFT exhibition, with Subculture, where we're featuring, 2 MetaArt Club artists along with more Hong Kong artists. And we're now starting to buy art NFTs with a credit card now. So we've developed a new system here. So, we're continually exhibiting here whenever we have opportunities. We have, of course, partnership art NFT projects with, magazines like Jessica magazine, like Vogue magazine. We also have corporate projects, like we mentioned, with Swire, and just in discussion with several banks as well. So I think the future of MetaArt Club is really, working with these digital artists to create art NFTs, for, corporate market, for clients, for brands, even luxury brands, and really, growing the collector base and market size and of this whole art NFT digital art space. So we can see ourselves working on multiple launches of more collections with different artists, collaborating with different brands. So I think that's kind of what we want to do to enlarge the market, and continue to grow the MetaArt Club.
Are you going to have your own exhibition space, like online? Because like we have like the crypto art museum. So is there going to be like a MetaArt museum, in the Metaverse?
Yeah, we have a MetaArt Club built space in Uplift right now. In the Ethereum world. So when you go there, you can already see us being exhibited in the Metaverse, but in the Uplift Ethereum Metaverse, right? And of course, we have plans to be in the next new coin Uplift, Metaverse space as well, as well as other metaverses like in Asia has asked us, to provide artwork for them to exhibit in their buildings, in their metaverse. So I kind of feel that, the metaverse is a reflection of our world, our real world that we live in, right? And, in the real world, we have, art and paintings hanging on buildings and museums, and we see ourselves providing art to the metaverse in where, to whoever wants them, whoever wants to exhibit them. So we've been really excited to be in Uplift and to also, be in different metaverses in Asia as well.
Brilliant. Frank, do you have any thoughts on that?
No, I think that we are really excited. And I think that's also what we believe is the strength of the partnership altogether in the NewCoin community. Uplift, what the Uplift team has done, and Jen and the whole team is just amazing. So we're very proud of that. Also with Nifty Blogs, with Squan and the whole team, there's a lot of space for the collaboration, and that's where our excitement comes from. And we really look forward to build further together on that.
That sounds fabulous. I think it's the perfect way to end the conversation. And I'd like to thank you both so much for this insightful, informative podcast. And I'm curious to know, where can our listeners and community find you on your social platform?
So you can find us, Frank, can you give all the social media handles? You can find us on Instagram.
It's the MetaArt Club. We are on MetaArt Club on Instagram. We are on Twitter. You can find us on the MetaArt Club. Also, the MetaArtClub.io is our website as well. So we have a team that is quite active. Olivia and the team is doing an amazing job. And we hope with all the exciting months that are ahead of us, that we really can, even enlarge and be more present and be more visible in the digital world.
Amazing. That's going to happen, and we will be following you. And I know that everyone that has watched this today will be following you to check out the progress and everything that you're doing. And thank you again. And thank you all for being a part of today's forum. If you want to get more involved in our community, make sure to follow us on our social platforms. NewCoin, IG is newcoin.nco, and our website is newcoin.org. You can also join our Discord community, and the link will be in the description below, as well as MetaArt Club's links. And as always, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to our channel. And I will see you in the next episode.